Hello everyone and welcome back to WolfQuest, and we are here in Amethyst Mountain with Kaya, the heir to Katari and Tarrell and their legacy, and Kaya has just shown a little bit of unexpected spunk because, and kind of a way with, even though she's not very good with other wolves and she's very shy and skittish around them, she seems to have sort of a way with the predators because she actually just stole this carcass away from a bear, only to turn right around and have to defend it from a cougar. But she was able to chase both of them off successfully, which is very surprising to me, considering that Kaya is so small and so shy, and she's not all that strong. She has, I think, if we look at her pack stats, she has only 25% speed, which is less than even her mother had, and she has 535 experience at the moment, so she's actually well on her way to being able to find a mate. Now, we have determined that out of all the wolves that Kaya encountered, the ones over here were the least hostile. The wolf over here kind of gave her a warning before actually snapping at her, whereas the wolf up on Amethyst Mountain actually outright attacked her, and the wolf that she encountered from the Druid pack down by Soda Butte Vista was actually the same stranger wolf that attacked her as a puppy. So no way does Kaya want anything to do with that. So when she seeks a mate, will probably be looking around in this territory, but until then, we have to try and get her a little bit more experience. She doesn't have quite enough. So we're going to be looking around, maybe going hunting, although Kaya is actually not all that strong, so hunting may not be the best option. And chasing stranger wolves away is not a good option either because she's so shy. So we shall have to see what comes up, and perhaps, I'm kind of hoping we'll find another predator. Oh, and in fact, we have a coyote. Now, Kaya is usually a pretty gentle wolf, but I feel like she probably still would have an instinctual drive to hunt down and attack coyotes. Also because she is aware that they will attack her puppies. There were several coyote attacks at the den when she was a puppy, and I'm sure she remembers that well. I think that's also what has given her some of the drive to be able to attack predators despite being quite small and kind of shy, is that she knows that someday she's gonna have to be strong enough to chase off predators, because once she has pups of her own, she's gonna have to defend them. And she won't have the option of running away from the predators because she'll end up losing a puppy if she does. So she is pretty driven to learn how to chase away other predators. She is just really scared of other wolves because she was attacked when she was young. And is there something? No, it's just the ravens, I think. This is the carcass we were just at. We're going to kind of just wander around and see if we can find, perhaps she may go try and hunt, and I think she might try hunting kind of near the burn. This is the carcass we just ran past, right? Right? I think, yeah. No, it's a different one, and there's a coyote, so we're going to go chase that off. Coyotes are also good experience. That's probably not how Kaya would think about it, seeing as she is a wolf, and in real life, obviously wolves don't worry about experience points. That's just part of the game, and there's another coyote. She may earn all of her experience points just by chasing off these coyotes, my goodness. But, you know, we do add some amount of personification to our wolves just to kind of help keep it more, because, you know, it can get a little bit repetitive, even though the game itself does provide quite a bit of material to work with, but it can get a little repetitive, especially since this is, we had over 20 episodes of WolfQuest. We had 20 in the main series, plus a whole side series with Kaya's brother Shaster, and several other community events. We had a community event, and we had a live stream event in which we followed Kaya's other brother Lucan, and we've just had quite a few wolves in this series, and it can get a little bit repetitive, so we try to add a little bit of story element. Oh, also I wanted to let you guys know, because we talked about foxes last time when Kaya encountered that fox, and we're gonna head over to the burn to hunt. I went the wrong way. I'm used to going to this elk hunting ground, so Kaya's just kind of taking a little detour, it seems. But we were talking about foxes and whether or not they are canines. Well, the thing is, they're in the Canidae family, so they are related to wolves, but at the same time, they are in a different subclass. So Canidae is kind of the broader family. So the foxes are the Vulpes, and I believe it's the genus. And so you'll have like Vulpes. I don't know if that's actually, I think, or it might, I don't know what the genus or what the scientific name for the red fox is, but it would be Vulpes. But for a wolf, so like the gray wolf is Canis lupus. So they're in the Canis part of the Canidae family. Or the coyote is in, speaking of, there goes a coyote. The coyote is in the Canis, I believe it's the genus as well. I'm not good with all those scientific names, but I believe it's the genus. It's a subclassification, so Canidae is kind of the overarching family, but the coyote is much more closely related to the wolf in that, and so the coyote's scientific name is Canis latrans. So it's a different, you can see it's a little bit closer, but I don't know the foxes, but it would be Vulpes, or I think there are other names for different. The foxes are split up a little bit more. Wolves, I think, are all in the Canis, the different types of wolves. But, foxes are a little bit more diverse. So, like, you have red fox, you have fennec fox, you have Arctic fox, you have island fox. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of foxes. And some of them are in Vulpes, and some of them are in other different genuses, I believe. So it gets a little bit complicated, but so they are still Canidae. They are still in the Canidae family. And here is the elk herd, actually. We found them just by seeing the ravens overhead. Usually you're supposed to track them with scent, but let's actually see how much experience. Okay, so she doesn't have quite enough. We'll go ahead and see, are there carcasses around if we get into trouble? There's carcasses back that way. And we should probably have gone and eaten before. Maybe we can spook one of these elk if we run around. Can we spook one of them? Can we get some of them to run? Some of them are going to run. Okay. Is this the weakest one? I think this is the weakest one. This one. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's an elk bolting right in front of us. We're going to try and get around on this side of her, and we're actually going to chase her off towards the carcass. Now, Kaya has to be... No, don't run back towards the herd. Kaya has to be a lot more strategic about her hunting than Katari ever had to be, because Kaya is very fast and even weaker as far as strength goes than Katari. So you can see just how fast she is by how she actually has to slow down to avoid instantly running up to this elk. Right now she's just kind of trying to chase it away from its herd back towards... Nope. We gotta cut it off. Gotta cut her off. Back towards these carcasses because Kaya is too weak to actually start trying to hunt. Once we get her a little closer to the carcasses over here, and that may actually despawn the rest of her herd. Oh, good grief. No, you're going the wrong way. Stop it. Go the other way. No, she's running back the wrong way. It can be hard to herd these guys, but she's going to try and chase the elk off this way towards the carcasses up there so she can have something with which to replenish her own health, because she's too weak to just straight up go after the elk on her own. She'll need a mate to be able to do that, and that is currently what she is seeking. But this and probably another coyote chase would be able to give her enough experience points to go ahead and be able to find a mate. Ooh, watch out. No, don't get stuck on the log, Kaya. So almost there. We're getting pretty close. We're going to go ahead. We'll attack a little bit more. Now, Kaya doesn't have the most stamina in the world either. She has less than her mom did. So she's not able to run for as long, and she's probably not able to do the bite holding thing that Katara used to do so frequently. She's probably going to rely a lot more on singular bites, because also the bite hold tends to do quite a bit of damage. And hopefully we'll be able to go ahead and get a few more bites in. But yeah, you can see her bites are hardly doing any damage at all. She's going to slow down, and we'll go ahead and we're not going to... Nope, you're not going back this way, elk. Get going the way you're supposed to. No, you can't run up back here. We got to keep you moving this way. Come on. There's all these trees to smack into. We're even worse in the forest because they're completely... Did she just like run into us and get stuck? But like they're completely grown. These are all dead and bare. But the ones in the forest over there actually have a bunch of pine needles, so it's a lot harder to see. Maybe she'll be able to take this elk down. She didn't do so well. You know, it's when the elk stops and starts kicking that she doesn't do so well. She does okay with, well, it's still running. And that's kind of why we need to get this elk towards a carcass. Ooh, nice zoomed in view of an elk, hiney. When we go in scent view, kind of obstructs the view a little. Oop, let's get out of here because we don't want her to take too much damage. So we're going to have to run in and just bite quickly. Oh, we might be able to take it down. Maybe. Can we? Do you think we can? Maybe. Maybe. We got to keep a careful eye on that health bar. Now, if Kaya were to die... Oh, we did okay. If Kaya were to die without an error, then we probably would respawn her. Because... she does not have an error, and we would consider it just kind of a bad dream, or maybe she just got knocked out. Once she has a potential error, then if she dies, it is final. But as long as she doesn't, we will be allowed to respawn her. Now, the thing is, too, I believe dying comes with a heavy experience penalty. I'm not sure if that... So now we have 735 experience, but I believe... I'm not sure if it applies in single player, too, but I know at least in multiplayer, they recently added in a heavy penalty for dying of 500 points. This is to discourage what a lot of people tend to do is just dying, respawning, and continuing to attack. And that would enable them to take down large prey like moose fairly easily. Well, that's not really all that realistic. Even respawning, obviously, is not realistic, but being able to just not even care about your health and respawn immediately and attack again kind of defeats the purpose of the game of having to cooperate and make sure you're prepared if you're going to hunt something that large. And so now there is an experience point penalty for dying. And I don't know if it applies if you die in single player, but I definitely know it applies in multiplayer. And I think you may also respawn with less health in multiplayer. I believe you do. So there is to be reckoned with as well. Is there a coyote? Nope. I keep checking these carcasses because I'm hoping something will spawn. We just need like a coyote or something. And that will enable us to have the experience points we have to go looking for a mate. Oh, and here we are. Indeed, indeed. We have a coyote. Let's just take out this coyote, and this should get us the 750 experience points that we need. It gave us 25, and we should have... Now we have 760, which means that I believe we are now eligible to go find a mate. So we'll stop in at... Where was the carcass? There was a carcass up here. Did something eat the carcass up here? Something may have... Or was it just further up the hill? I think something has eaten the carcass up here. We'll stop in just briefly down here and take a little nibble just to kind of replenish our health. But remember, Kaya is not really a fighting wolf anyway. If she gets attacked, she generally tends to flee. But over here, she noticed the wolf she bumped into is a little bit more lenient with her than the wolf on the mountain. So she's decided this might be an okay place as long as she's kind of careful. But I don't think she would even enter into confrontations with stranger wolves. She might once, but once she recognizes that particular wolf and its scent, then she probably wouldn't. She'd probably just tend to sneak out of the territory. If she runs across a dispersal, that's another matter. But if she runs into a pack wolf, she may just go sneaking out of the territory if she's seen that wolf before. And in fact, oh, speaking of, we have a slough male. And this is indeed the wolf she's seen before. It is the brown wolf that looks a lot like her mom. So she's going to skedaddle out of there and quickly and surreptitiously slip away before he realizes she came poking around again. She'll probably try kind of run in from a different area and perhaps try and locate another wolf. She's looking for dispersals that may be hanging around in the territory. Maybe they're looking for food because they know a pack is here. That's probably why if a lone wolf was going to hang around a territory, that was why I would think they would probably do it. It's the same wolf. Does she have to interact with him to make him go away? I don't know. She's going to go off this way and try and make him despawn by leaving the territory. She's trying to get around him because he's the wolf who caught her in the territory before and did chase her off. And she'd be a little concerned that if he caught her again, sneaking in a second time, he might not be so nice to her. The first time he did end up nipping at her, he didn't let her stay, but he was a little bit gentler in how he did that. And there's a carcass here. We shall grab a little bit of a snack. See, this is the kind of thing that I would be, oh my gosh. This is the kind of thing I would be looking for if I was a lone wolf wanting to hang around pack territory, would be leftover kills that I could scavenge at. So we'll see if we can run in and give that cougar a nice little nip and possibly give it another one and see if we can chase it off. Kaya is quite the fast little wolf. And it's on the run again. Look at that. She seems to be quite good at chasing off predators, probably because she's so fast. She can just get in there and maneuver a lot more quickly than they can, and that helps her out. So I'm thinking we'll probably see another wolf. It's the same wolf. We're going to have to admit, maybe he will be nice. We're going to have to just admit we were sneaking around. If we submit, will he be nice to us and let us stay? If we are submissive, will he be nice to us? And you know, it's not so much being nice, but it would be tolerating her presence. Oh, no, definitely not. And he was not nearly as lenient as he was the first time. He did indeed bite her without the past time. Okay, we're going to continue to look for a mate. The previous time she ran into him, he actually told her to get going without biting her, but this time he was not amused to see her around again. And I think if she sees him, aka if she runs into him in a social encounter, from now on she will immediately flee. She might try and interact with other pack wolves if she bumps into them just to see what they do, but I think she will be a little skittish now that she's been caught in this territory multiple times. She'd probably be a little bit concerned. Oh, and here is another scent trail. So hopefully it will be a different wolf. Who's this? Oh, it is a dispersal. Okay, we're going to kind of look around before we enter. He's very, very dark. Kind of like her brother Shaster and her brother Kyrian, but even darker it seems. He's honestly quite a pretty wolf. Now, let's see. Kaya is very shy. I think she'd be really, very skittish to approach him. Want to make sure she gets a good look at him. He's not attacking her. Not that they do in this game, but in real life, she would probably be kind of sizing him up. He's very, very pretty. Very, very, very dark in coloration. Doesn't have too much brown on him. Some of the dark wolves do. I think she would shyly greet him. We'll have to see. Do we think he's the mate for us? Do we think he's the right wolf? He seems friendly. I think she might go and sniff him and just kind of say hello and kind of get used to his scent. He's not one of the pack wolves. She knows that. So he's not going to be that concerned about chasing her out of the territory because it's not his territory. He's actually just as much a trespasser here as she is. I think she would probably playfully kind of invite him to play and just see if he's going to tolerate her and be friendly, which it seems he is. Now, would she want to start a pack? That is the question. She knows she needs help. He looks like a nice, big, strong wolf, and I think that's one thing she is looking for, is she knows she has a hard time surviving on her own. She's looking for someone who would be strong enough to help her hunt and strong enough to help her raise puppies. She's good with chasing off predators, but she's not nearly as good with bringing down those big old elk. So I think she would invite him to start a pack, because, I mean, look at him. He's a big wolf. He looks like he'd be pretty stinking strong. So I think she would say, do you want to start a pack? Do you want to be my mate? I think she would, because he's very, very big. And he seems very gentle as well and very kind. He was playful. He greeted her well, and I know they usually tend to do that in this game. But nevertheless, that would be a trait she would be looking for in a potential mate. And she's not quite as... I don't think she's quite as jaded, perhaps, as Katari was. Katari was very suspicious of other wolves. Kaya, I think, expects more outright hostility. Katari suspected more of hidden intent, and we are actually going to name this guy Courage. Because of how skittish Kaya is, it just seems like it fits. So we have now completed the quest for mate. We'll turn on names, and we have our mate Courage, and we can play with him. I think he seems like a pretty calm, maybe a little bit solemn. Oh, look at that. Look at that. But look how big he is. He's quite a large wolf. So he's probably pretty strong, and he seems pretty fast as well. I know I think the mates maybe all have the same stats. Maybe. Is he coming up behind us? Here he is. Look at that, though. He is quite a bit bigger than her. So she has managed to find a mate. He is quite fast. Hopefully he'll be stronger than she is, because that is a lot of... She needed... If you have two very... Oh, here we go. Here's a bunny. Kaya's probably quite good at catching bunnies because she's very fast. But I think we will leave her and Courage here for this episode. We have, if we go to pack stats, she has 970. Wow, we get quite a bit of experience for chasing, or for finding mate. I think we get like 200 experience for finding mate. But we want to stick around here in Amethyst Mountain for just a little bit longer, because we want to give them some time to be able to build up to closer to 2,000 experience points. We won't stick around for too long. We may actually travel next episode, but we do want to stick around and get a little bit of experience, both in terms of the actual experience number and to let these guys practice hunting together. So I will see you then, but until next time, this is Jay, over and out. I'll see you guys later.